These men are not film critics. They are just a bunch of lazy, retro gaming enthusiasts. Their opinion on these films is not wanted, so please don't take them seriously. Also, Crit Rocket Runner declined to be a part of this, which shows the poorly guided integrity of those involved.
Notes.
I I'd loathe this
Oh,
this time
Oh,
here.
save
I'll
it.
save it.
Save it.
Oh,
Oh.
and I'll definitely say it again. You're gonna hear me drop that many times in this show, but for pre-show purposes, I'm not as prepared as I was last show.
That's fine.
just pretend like you are.
I mean, I watched the film, of course. I watched it like 2-3 hours ago, but
I think we all did.
yeah.
All right.
But other than that, I didn't do any deep dives.
All right, you good?
Yeah,
You sure?
as good as I'm gonna be, anyway.
I just want you to be sure. Be a safe place.
Oh, I'm never, I'm never sure. But I always feel safe in your arms.
Baby. Welcome to the Again and Again podcast, episode 3, also known as month 3, also known as Jesus, Hell, Christ, What Are We Doing? The podcast where we watch the same film each month, 6 months, and slowly descend into some sort of Stockholm Syndrome madness, I guess. My name is Luke, by the way. I'm your host. Joining me, we have 8-Bit Murphy.
Hola.
We got Mr. Old Leaky Pipes.
Hello.
And then we've got Owly. He's joining us.
Who?
Owly, 8-Bit Owl, the man.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Hey.
Al jokes.
Owl
Let's go.
jokes. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
last but not least, Stormcrow 56K.
May the gods smile upon you.
Exactly.
You already went into the movie description. You win. You win.
I
Sorry.
have a question while
Yeah.
we're talking about
Question.
introductions here. So, 8-Bit Owl and Stormy and Pipes, your names, I'm curious where they came from. So I kind of have an idea that Stormy's is from Magic. Is that right?
Magic. Yeah, Stormcrow 56K is my moniker. Stormcrow is a meme card in Magic. I actually started off streaming as a Magic the Gathering streamer and found speedrunning in new friends.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Wow.
Friendship is love.
Owly, where did
Yeah.
the 8-Bit Owl come from?
The 8-bits was what I grew up on, man. That was
Well, I can relate to
the
that
original.
part of it.
Being 8-bit
Yeah.
Murphy. Yeah, 8-bit fam. Yeah, so like that's like kind of the easy one. The owl thing, I have a deep love and appreciation for owls. So I just kind of combine the two things. It's really not any more interesting than that. Although I will say
Is it?
it's it could be. But I will say
Conspiracy.
that I've often thought about dropping the 8-bit part of it all, but it's impossible. to
You
do. No
would
offense.
drop the family surname?
No, it's how many people do you see with 8-bit in their name? It's like being named Dan Smith, but in Twitch again. It's like I did it to myself again.
I'll tell you why you want to keep it is because the minute you drop it and you go to type that name into some sort of name creation for a new account, someone's already gonna take
You hit the
whatever.
nail on the head.
Yeah,
man, is
you
what
need the
said.
combination just to, because like if I typed in Murphy into a new online game or something, it would be taken in 3 seconds.
Well, yeah, no,
So
it's like a bad tattoo, like it kind of grows on you because it's stuck on you, like you can't get it. So you're like, well, if I got rid of it,
I've slowly modified
somebody
my
else would
name
tattoo it on their skin. What?
because I've slowly modified my name over the years. So I originally created a name in like 2005, and back then I was really high on the Adult Swim's C-Lab 2021.
Oh, man, that's
And
cool.
the captain in that was Captain Murphy. So I went by Howlin' Mad Murphy, which was this radio persona in C-Lab. So
Hard
a
nipples.
cartoon, so a fake cartoon based off of an old cartoon of which character pretended to be a different person on a radio show. I took that name. It's very deep.
It's extremely deep.
But
Good show.
but eventually transformed from Howlin' Mad Murphy to 8-Bit Murphy because I got tired of typing that long ass thing every time I logged into a website.
But if you look at the
Bro.
8 enough in front of 8-bit, it kind of almost looks like a snowman. So you could evolve to Snowman Bit Murphy.
Hey, there we go. If I ever sign up for something and 8-Bit Murphy is taken, that will
No, man.
be the moment. That will be the genesis of
Snowman Bit Owl.
Snowman Murphy. Now, here's the thing. I want to know where
Murphy.
I
Yeah,
want to
dude.
know where Leaky Pipes came from.
There was a plumbing accident.
Yeah, well, so yeah, we're going by pipes on here, but yeah, old Leaky Pipes was my
Like you're just looking around your house trying to think of a name.
it was a headline on my college newspaper. Said old leaky pipes cause problems. I saw the headline and it struck me as pretty funny, and I went and showed it to a bunch of friends. Like, guys, isn't this funny? Like, wouldn't this be funny if like that was like your username? And they're like, no, not really.
Yeah, it's funny.
No,
like,
it's
yeah,
funny.
Fucking funny. Look, causes problems, just like me.
Yeah, and they do cause problems. So yeah, that's just what I've started using online. And the nice thing is that it's always available. There's no one else with the brilliant idea to use the screen name Old Leaky Pipes. So any
This
site,
podcast comes out.
yeah, you guys better not steal all those Old Leaky Pipes.
Millions of fans of our podcast
Accounts.
all just clamoring to get variations of Old Leaky Pipes.
Oh, you remember we have our Discord where we discuss things about this ridiculous podcast, and you remember when I was like, "Hey, somebody recognized me!" Like they said, like I was in the podcast. Yeah, it turns out that they were talking about another person named 8-Bit that had another
Hey,
podcast.
I'm famous.
So
That's
I
the
was like,
famous
"Oh,
8-Bit.
cool, man! I was like, you've heard of it, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Yeah. Wait, what? No, I'm confused." And I was
Mom,
like,
get
"Oh,
the
you're
camera."
not talking to me."
Just do what I do. I tell people that we're related, and they just complete. It's weird how easily that lie is able to be sold to somebody because we both have the word 8-bit in our name.
Snowman Bit.
It's weird, and then I'll be like, "No, I'm just kidding." They're like, "Nah, you're not. No, you're not."
Seems
Like
like
they don't
online people tend to
believe.
be pretty gullible in general.
It's weird how easy it is for me to be, because in their mind, it's so easy for them to just. We have the word 8-bit in our name, so clearly we must be related. And when I tell them I'm just joking around, they think I'm trying to I'm scared of being doxxed. Like our last name is 8-bit or something like that.
Oh yes, the classic
And
Dutch last name, 8-bit.
Yeah. But I always get a kick out of that. Now Luke, you're just using
That's a weird name, Luke.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
dumb.
God,
I mean,
who would
Yeah, well,
use
clearly from
Yeah.
the book of.
The book
right?
of no, but that's the thing. Like born in the early '80s, named Luke. Geez, I wonder where my mother got the inspiration.
Now-
Lightsabers and
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
Star
using
Trek.
my Murphy is not my real name, but
What?
if I use that same premise as you just did, my parents must have just seen the guy that changed their oil in their car, and that's who they named me. They named me
Yo,
after their high school janitor or
yo,
whatever.
mechanic
Like
guy.
I've got one of the
What's your name? We got a
I've
baby
got one of
coming.
the
We need a
most
fucking name for it.
generic, white dude, just plain bread of a name.
All right, Dennis, calm down.
Yeah,
Do you want to say
I'm,
anything about your streaming name, Luke?
Oh, my streaming name,
I am
Zedlar.
curious.
Um,
What's that about?
basically, it's a combination of a word turned backwards, and then just made it phonetically correct, and that's what I've been known as for.
Raldex?
Yeah, that's Raldex is close, but like I've had screen names over the years. We've all had them. We go back to my first email account was like Black Misanthropy or some shit like that. You know, being an
I
edgy
had some
teenager.
bullshit like that too. I think I was like Shadowheart on my
Yeah,
first
something
MMO
dumb.
or something lame.
And then I remember having a couple of usernames during that whole LeetSpeak era that had, some numbers in there
X's.
replacing the letters, and because hanging out on LiveJournal and all that stuff. But no, I tell people, they say, "What does your name mean?" And I tell people that I just go by Zed as my screen name, around the place, and
Oh, Papa Zed.
it's purely just to infiltrate the Americans to get them to say Z instead of Z.
Oh,
I like
clever.
that. You're taking
Yeah.
us one viewer at a
Very
time.
clever.
I love it.
Exactly.
I don't know you exist in the streaming
Is that
world.
is that why we're also watching a movie with the main character whose name is Zed?
Well, you talk about the little coincidences that happen. Like I noticed, and it's just a little bit ahead of time here, but oh god, I finished watching the movie like an hour and a half ago. What's the blonde girl's name? Em?
Ema.
Emma? Her real name is Juno. Her real name is Juno. That Michael Cera starred in a movie called Juno.
Hmm.
So there's lots of little idiosyncrasies and little serendipitous moments that pop up in life. It's all
That had to have been planned.
it's all that right hand path magic, or whatever.
So
I
I'm
know what you
curious.
do with your right hand. No, thank
So
you.
after
No, thank
we've
you.
all
Yes,
after
please.
we've all watched this film, I wonder if you guys are all treating it the way I do, where you start looking at specific things in the movie.
Well, much like how Stormy last episode talked about how he did it with the director's commentary, I thought I would do something a little different as well. And I heard, a while ago that if you take a blues song and you only include like the first line of the blues song as you go down the lyric list, it changes the structure of it. So, you get a classic blues riff and you'd be like, I got a great girl, and then she left me. But you drop out the and then she left me? I thought I'd do that with this movie and just go scene by scene, excluding the scene in between, to see if I change the structure of the movie. Do you catch what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's what I did, right? And I got to the sixth scene, so I admitted. Um, I got to the fifth scene, so I admitted scene 2 and scene 4, and I was struggling, and I was looking really for an excuse. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat then. Don't ask how we got there. Um, and I was struggling, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like I shifted in my seat and I ripped a fart, right? It was one of those rip, and you're like, that was heard.
Let it out.
Yeah,
Let it out.
that was heard across the street, sort of thing. But the
Rumbled
smell,
the glass, right?
the smell,
Mm.
it was like liquid garbage can with stale potato chips, and it was a sign for me to evacuate the room.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was better than the movie.
It was no, but that's the thing. It was my body was reacting physically violently to this film, forcing me to remove myself from the situation of what the film is. So there's about 20 minutes of the film I missed because I was not having any of this, you know?
I started paying attention to the set design, and
Yep.
like I kept thinking of like how all the houses were put together, and how structurally sound were they.
Well, did you see the link that I posted?
I did, which
Yeah.
is why I thought that was pretty awesome.
What was the link you posted? Why don't
So
you tell the viewers,
yeah,
listeners?
so I'll let the viewers know. Let me just quickly transition it here. I posted a link in our Discord production notes about it's the Google Maps location of where they shot this film in Louisiana, and it is an interesting thing to look at. So I've brought it up onto the recording so everybody at home can follow along and play along and mark off their scorecards.
Year one bingo. That's how we can do it next month.
No one's mentioned Vinnie Jones yet, so whoever's got that on their card's fucked. But it's interesting, and did you see that the bull is still standing?
You can actually see the close up. I just saw
Yeah.
the aerial
Oh,
shot.
No,
Okay.
so
okay.
if you go,
You can see it from
Is
the
he
aerial
really?
shot.
yeah, you can scroll into the image, and the bull is still standing there.
Yeah, I clicked it into 3D, and you can tell. Yeah, it's still there.
Oh
So,
my
I have a
god.
question.
The one where
Is-
they did the sacrifices, where they the mouth of
Oh, yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so is this something that they built for the movie and just left there, or is
Yep.
this something that's used for other
Nope.
films? Use it
Looks like
really?
it's in partial disarray,
'Cause
so I think
that's
it's
one thing
just
I was
abandoned.
noticing this time through was like the set. It's not bad, for kind of the movie's general mediocre kind of construction. The sets actually seemed pretty good, I thought, and I thought, well, they must be like sharing the sets with other, like maybe like some other show is also using this set. But if they built this exclusively for year one, that's
What's wild
surprising.
is I've been right next to that place
Hmm.
on many of occasion,
And you
and
weren't called?
I
There wasn't
never knew
something in
about
your
it.
soul that called you to go and have a look at it?
I am so mad that I never knew that I could go check this place out.
Yeah, just jump in there. Start sacrificing people.
It would be cool. It would be really cool to do set
Let's do
design
it.
like this, like as a job.
6
Like I
months.
think it would be. Yeah, what's
Sand came from.
our field trip budget to go visit filming
I
locations?
think Zed's the one that would be really paying out. We'd have to do a GoFundMe to get Zed over here.
Currently, the budget for the podcast is approximately 75 cents.
Awesome. That's something.
Yeah, at least it's not in the negative.
Yeah, that's something.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
they
you can
spent
tell there's
$60 million on this movie. I mean,
Holy
that's
shit.
that's total. But
Yeah.
yeah, they actually talk about the construction of a lot of stuff. Apparently, they used foam for a lot of the this stuff. But
I think most of that budget went to like lunches and booze.
Hoagies.
Jack Black had like a 5 hoagie minimum per day.
Per meal. He had to keep up that portly figure.
I thought that was Jack Black's real hair, and then I saw a behind the scenes thing today and realized that his hair was only like an inch and a half long. That was a wig,
It's just
or
really sad.
My immersion.
yeah,
Not my
I
immersion.
was- because of all the people, because some of the wigs are really bad. Like Michael Cera's is horrible.
Oh, especially at the end of the movie, dude. It looks like
Yeah.
I think they came up with him peeing in his hair just to explain how bad his wig looks.
Does anyone know if he storming in the director's commentary? Did they say that he was actually like that's not a stunt double at that scene, is it? Like that's him upside down.
No. Yeah, he was talking about how it was, terrible. I mean, he was
Like-
basically waterboarded.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
saw the liquid was going into
yeah,
his
going in his
nostrils.
nose.
I
Yeah,
feel like the more times I watch this, the more I pay attention to exactly how that liquid flows over his face into his eyes. But I saw it go right into his eye, into his nose,
It's
dribbling
real
down.
nice too.
Yeah.
At one point I was kind of looking down at my phone, taking care of some stuff, and my wife came in, like Dr. Forrester from Mystery Science Theater, and she was like, eyes on the TV, and I was like, okay.
I was
Like,
gonna
I'm not allowed to look away, I guess.
Okay, that
It's
pleases me
tempting.
greatly. So I wrote down Dr. Forrester in a little notepad for me to draw a reference to. Primarily because I've been watching lately a ton of old Mystery Science Theater, and I'm a mega fan of the Mystery Science Theater movie that they made. A lot of people haven't seen that.
This Island Earth, baby.
Yes, it's such a great one. But the premise of that show, as most people probably know, is that they trap a guy in space and they make him watch shitty movies to essentially to break his mind.
Oh no, you found out my plan.
And I found out they've got the premise all wrong. They don't need to watch new crazy movies every week. They just need to watch the same awful movie like 4 times and you will just crush a man's spirit.
But not so awful that it's funny. Just awful
Yeah,
enough to where
just it's not even
where it's
bad
not
enough
good.
to make fun of. It's
Yeah.
just blah. It's as bad as my as the name on my driver's license.
Antonio.
Dr. Sprinkles.
It's just the most generic. My rating is definitely gonna take a turn compared to the last 3.
So I'm curious, has anyone watched this under the influence of any substances? Raise your hand.
Well,
Just no verbal, just raise hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
just raise your hand.
yeah.
Okay, I see Allie
Well,
raising his hand.
I'm putting an asterisk. I'm putting an asterisk next to mine. I have a doctor prescribed thing, but it is definitely under the influence.
So
think
yeah, because I'm wondering if that shifts people's perspective. And it's one thing if you're on that influenced thing regularly, but yeah, I might have partaken a little something to watch the first half, and honestly, it
Was it
didn't
Tang?
help.
Was it Tang or Ovaltine?
I smoked some sweet
was
Tang.
a Yoo-hoo.
Stormy, you said that it didn't
It
help.
really didn't help. Yeah, I was
that's
fighting the urge to play with my phone
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, if anything,
and I
makes it
like
hard
the
to
movie,
focus.
but it's still Um, what about you, Allie? Since I saw you raise your hand.
You want to know what substance?
No, not what substance. Just does that have any impact on your viewing, you think?
Absolutely. I mean, because I start thinking about like characters' feelings, and
Oh my god.
like, well, where would? Oh, okay. Well, I understand. Like that sucks, but I see why you acted that way. Not specifically with this movie because it's all just like a bunch of. But I'm just saying in general.
Right.
I do. But with this movie specifically, I this time was one of those times that I was in substance. Surprise, surprise. And I started thinking about how I like this movie because of this, like what we're doing here. And I said this last time too, but like I was really thinking about that. So like I'm starting to draw memories
Interesting.
about this while I watch this movie.
You're starting to get
And
some
like
sort of
suddenly,
Pavlov's dog thing going on where
yeah,
you
because
watch
like
the movie and then you
I
get
start
this
hearing
excitement for the,
our
yeah.
commentary. I start hearing our commentary and conversations about the movie while I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, I remember when Pipe said this, or when Murphy. When I remember that long tangent that Murphy went on in episode 1 about the jackal dance. Like that. Every time I see the jackal dance, I hear that whole
Yeah.
story.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
I thought about that too.
so it's actually making the movie more enjoyable because we're discussing it, even though it sucks. Like it's not a not a bad movie.
No, it
I'm not gonna
sucks.
do that whole thing again. But yeah,
Movie
okay,
sucks.
here we go again.
Well, you know what? This
But
is
yeah.
how I perceive it. It's like for me, it's like the struggle of rock climbing to get to the top and have like the most awesome view in the world. It's like the payoff.
Except you're not climbing rocks, you're climbing a big pile of shit.
So the hurdle is watching this painful movie, but the payoff is the
It's the end
Another,
credits.
is
It's-
is it is
what's
the
another
podcast.
shitty movie in 3 months. Yeah, I feel like this is more of a Sisyphean task. So, Sisyphus, the guy that rolled a boulder up a mountain repeatedly. Yeah, at the end of 6
But
months,
he
we
didn't have
watch
the
another
payoff
shitty movie.
though.
Yeah, I guess we do have some form of payoff, but
Yeah.
they say to
But you guys are
try to
getting paid?
imagine Sisyphus happy though. So, what's that?
Sorry, I said you guys are getting paid.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought Sisyphus was having a ball, but
Oh
But
lord.
All right, I better go. I was told there would be no puns.
oh, who told you
There was
that lie?
no such agreement.
Somebody
not with this
raised
crowd.
their hand earlier. I swear I saw it.
That wasn't a hand.
So I I have one other thing too. So going back to what Ali was saying about how, under a certain type of influence, I'm sure you all know what we're talking about. You start thinking about those intricacies and
Oh,
stuff.
yes.
I latched on to the Zed going through his speech about what is this? What, after he ate the apple and they're sitting around the fire, he's like, "What is this? We have food. What is food? I have these hands. What are words? Words? What?" Which first off, I've been there a million times, sober or under the influence. I've just always kind of questioned reality. But he was smoking a pipe right before he went into that rambling thing.
That's true.
He was smoking some type of water pipe. There was like a gourd on the end of that thing. That's not
Yeah,
just a
bubbler.
smoke chamber. That's a bubbler. That was a bubbler.
So yeah, so is he just stoned, like when he eats the fruit too? And all of
Got the
this
munchies.
started because like he's just high and
Yeah, no, it totally, you know what? And that set off this huge chain of events that actually it was all the forbidden fruits. From one perspective, the forbidden fruit is really what caused all this. Like it was Jack Black, sure, but he ate the forbidden fruit, right? He's not supposed to eat the forbidden fruit. Somebody saw him eat the forbidden fruit. They kicked him out of the village. That's why he grabbed the torch. That's why the village lit on fire. That's why all the people got caught by the the raiders, right?
Yeah.
And they were put into slavery. So like all that, it's all because of that forbidden fruit.
led to them realizing
Yeah.
they were all chosens.
So they were all they were in their little corner of the world where they thought that the edge of the world was on the mountains, right? Or on the other side of the mountains. And there was no knowledge of the evils of the outside world.
And if you think
until
about it,
that.
yeah, weed could totally have been the original forbidden fruit. I just gotta say it.
Oh,
Oh, it could have been.
that's an
Mhm.
The
interesting
forbidden
point.
fruit is really the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
old Mary Jane.
I mean, gets you thinking. And there's that. I don't know if anyone reads
Gets you
Philip
munching.
K. Dick here. Philip K. Dick, like famous sci-fi, super trippy author, but one of his, one of my favorite novels of his talks about basically this guy that finds out that um, at the Last Supper, basically Jesus was just peddling these mushrooms, and that's what that's that's what Christianity was really about, was the
Just
consciousness
tripping balls, man.
of yeah. So that's what, and going back, that's what got me thinking about all this shit. And I'm like writing down all these notes. I'm like, okay, I gotta go to sleep now, and I'm done. And I'm just drinking beer tonight.
So we were talking earlier about how it's because like Stormy he bought the Blu-ray, right? And my first couple of watches I did it via a media server. That's how I watched it. But I
Yeah.
didn't since our last recording I've changed PCs, right? So I don't have some things installed just yet, and I needed to watch the film. So I purchased it for $8 on Amazon Video, and
Nice.
it's an edited version.
Oh,
So
Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
PG-13 version, the
yeah,
theatrical.
because
Didn't have Bill Hader.
yeah, half of Bill Hader's lines are cut.
Yeah.
You really had sex with the dog.
It really did.
Is that what he said?
No, so it was an edited version, and it was a little different for me. Plus, I did the whole watch every second scene thing, and then had to evacuate the room due to biological hazards. But it was weird because I watched the film twice already, and I was like, here comes the line about the sun going up and down 27 times, but it wasn't there, and I perked up, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm missing content here. This isn't very good. In fact, this makes the whole thing worse.
Really? But maybe if you edited it down enough,
we
you could
just
actually
we just
get
have
like
we could
make it
just
shorter
have
and shorter.
like the pig running at the start, and then
Yeah.
the donkeys being loaded up at the end, and that would be perfect.
Yeah.
See, what's interesting about that, I remember seeing Anchorman in theaters and then watching the unrated version, and I thought a lot of the jokes that they had replaced were actually better on just the straight R version. So I guess this movie just wasn't quite dirty enough to hit that sweet spot.
Oh, gotta get that real lowbrow, to get the punters in. So where are we at?
yeah, we kind of didn't really follow I kind of just jumped in there with a
Yeah,
bunch of stuff to talk about, but
that's fine, and that's what's fun about this. That's what's really fun about this.
Who
Uh,
says? Who says that's fun?
I noticed in the film that there is maybe 4 shots that contain a donkey in it, right? Because this is how scraping the bottom of the barrel I've got to be now to get content out of this piece of horse shit film. There's about 4 scenes, right? And do you remember in the Lord of the Rings, whenever there was a shot of the children, like you had the Hobbit children at the start of the movie listening to Gandalf's story, and then you got like the children in Gondor or Helm's Deep or whatever it is, they're
It's
all
like all the
hiding,
same
and they're
kids.
the same kids. It's the
Yeah.
same fucking donkey.
Is it really? Like you're starting to notice, like he's got
Uh-huh.
that same patch of fur on
It's
his
the
abs.
same goddamn donkey. It's a grey donkey
one
with a
donkey
black
movie.
stripe.
oh man, my immersion.
I know, right? Like there's an end scene where they're packing up to leave Grimora, and there are 3 donkeys in that shot, and so 2 of them were
All
new
the same.
donkeys, and I wonder if they just like the donkey budget got extended or something, and they were like, "Fuck yeah, we can get another 2 donkeys in here." But it's the same goddamn donkey.
And that same donkey was in Juno. With
40 million.
Yeah, the
40
same
million. I'm
donkey.
telling you, $40 million budget did not go to most of like actual movie making. It went to snacks.
Craft
donkey.
services.
Yes.
Donkey services.
They only got one donkey with $40 million. Come on.
Well, maybe
Well, I
that's
saw.
is that the only donkey that's in Louisiana?
Well,
I mean, that could
well,
be.
definitely not.
No.
But so, and if you guys would watch the commentary, you would know they did have an actual what's the big cat that attacks
Oh,
at one point?
cougar.
Cougar, the
Cougar,
mountain
yeah.
lion.
Yeah.
So they did have a cougar, and apparently it just was it's like, fuck this, I'm not jumping out of this tree. So they had to do everything digital. So I mean,
Oh, that's expensive.
Oh,
that's
so
like
it's a digital
cool
donkey.
mill right there. Yeah, right.
Maybe
And
maybe they digitalized the donkeys.
deep fake donkey.
You've had VTubers, you're gonna have V donkeys.
And another cool tidbit, going off the donkey thing. So if you notice, when they're leaving the village, the Israelite village, Seth, Abraham's son, is playing with sheep in the background, which of course if you remember, he multiplies with sheep. So just a fun little tidbit there.
Oh, that's spoilers, man. Is this coming back to the priest?
Well, yeah, when Oliver Platt, when he does
Hopefully.
his first scene, he dumps like the entrails
Entrails
of
of
a
a sheep.
yeah, and he mentions the rectum is
Destroyed.
destroyed,
Very common in this region.
which isn't uncommon in this area or whatever he
Yeah.
says.
Sodom.
Very, very large genitals.
We're just gonna cut the tip off.
Not the whole thing, mind you, just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the very end.
Yeah.
Michael
I'll be
Cera,
right back to cut your
the tip's
genitals.
all I got.
I will say the genitals, the entrails scene I thought was a good one, albeit a little disgusting. Really let
Yeah.
Oliver Platt shine there.
Platt did a great job.
Yeah, I
He
can't.
did. He really
I
did a
can't
great
really
job.
fault him. He's, he kind of saves the film.
Azaria, dude. I
when
gotta
he's
say,
like,
Hank Azaria is the first breath of fresh air in
I
this
Hank
noticed.
movie.
Azaria
Yeah. Yep.
is just an incredible person all around. Every scene is magic with him.
But this
You know what would have been
Bernie cut is like one of those scenes that I will like if I were to be out doing something else and not really watching this movie and it was on in some other room, I'd probably stick my head in just for
Yeah,
the
if I was playing on my phone, I would pause whatever I was doing just to watch we're playing a game, Bernie cut. Yeah. I
I
would
wish we
stop
could
to
have. It would have been nice if we could have had more Paul Rudd. It was
Yeah.
like, imagine if their roles
Maybe.
were reversed and Paul
he
Rudd
was there he was there
uh,
and gone so fast.
I did think David Cross did well though. Like I thought he like his part maybe wasn't written as well as it could have been, but I thought he
it was
played it
written to
well.
be I mean, he's written to be kind of a jerk. But I think
Pipes
Paul
brings
Rudd
up a
also
good
played a
point,
pretty good
though.
jerk.
Yeah, you bring up a really
Yeah.
good point.
I feel like Paul Rudd would, I don't know, just someone else to kind of steal the show, like the priest guy did.
Paul Rudd's too charming. I feel like we'd end up loving him.
That's true.
That's why. Yeah, that's why he's not in it that much. They said he's too charming. They cut him from it, and then they had extra budget, so they got some more donkeys.
When
Hey, two more
Kane gets hit with that lightning bolt, did you guys hear? I don't know if anybody brought this up already, but there is like a missile sound right before that lightning bolt hits. You can hear it dropping like it's like, what? This is how lightning works.
I didn't notice
Did you
that.
guys see that?
I love his rant. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, or you just get blasted in the forehead with electricity. Yeah, it's pretty good.
There's the scene with Hank Azaria as Abraham when he's explaining what Sodom and Gomorrah is. I noticed his pupils were extremely dilated in that shot.
Oh, you think?
I think him and Jack Black were hanging out eating hoagies together and
having hoagies and sharing the water pipe, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, getting after that forbidden fruit.
You know, you got to get into it.
You gotta. I mean, if you're gonna make this film, you might as well be stoned as hell. Only got one goddamn donkey. No, very good. What else we got? What else would we like to talk about? Pipes, how did you watch it? Did you watch it upside down with gravity boots on or something like that? You know,
no, you know what? Actually, this time and I think last time I sort of watched it in like little, like 5-minute segments, and I'd be like, oh, I gotta turn away. I think this time I really focused. I watched it pretty much all one uninterrupted session. That kind of helped. It's sort of like just get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off. And yeah, I feel like I enjoyed it all right this time. One thing that kind of...
Your sanity's not slipping, is it? Is that what's going on? You're not getting some
Well,
sort of...
I don't know. That could be. I might be starting to like it.
Oh, dear. That's a turn up for the books.
This is a new Batman villain we're making right here.
It is. This is a Batman origin, villain origin story. Pipes, just be aware of that.
All right, I'll try and keep an eye on that.
Sounds like you've got leaky pipes. You know, like it's writing itself.
The name is all making sense now.
It is making sense. Quick, somebody copyright it. Oh dear. Yeah. So Ali, yeah, he enjoyed his watch. I can tell that much.
It's. I struggle. I'm starting to struggle. I think when it comes to just like knowing that that I have to watch the movie, I procrastinate I put it off till the last minute, basically.
Yeah. Which is kind of, I do the same. That's why I had to buy it from Amazon. So that's permanently on my account now as a testament to the madness. Do we want
You
to?
know,
Yeah, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I was doing a little research before we started. I saw it has like 4.6 out of 5 stars on Amazon. I was looking at the variants and ratings from different places.
That's
Out
got
of
nothing to
out of
do with
5?
me.
I'm like 90% sure if somebody wants to fact check me.
Like out of 10
Um,
seems like what you'd
right.
expect.
I started
On-
digging up like random blogger reviews. In my quest to find like I was just digging around to see if anybody just had brilliantly written like funny reviews, like reviews that would be essentially be funnier than the movie.
Good stuff to
And
steal.
and there were some entertaining ones out there, but none that really stuck out. But I did find one just from some random blog out there that actually really captured the film really well. I was really it's really long though. I was hoping to find some great snippet out of it to read here
Would you
on the
say it's
podcast.
knowledgey?
It's very knowledgey.
Taste of forbidden fruit.
Well, if you need a second, I can go over some of the reviews I've
Well,
found.
they basically it's spread out and they basically cover a lot of things that have already been said by many of us. One of which is something I said where it's more of a sketch film, um, a moment to moment sketch film rather than a flowing, cinematic experience. Um,
Oscar worthy.
Yeah, it's not winning any awards for writing or directing. Although I did see it was nominated for a Teen Choice Award
Oh,
for
those damn
comedy.
teens. Those teens don't know anything.
Oh
I
God,
I
no.
saw award
Look, Tony.
nominations. I was like, what? Somebody?
For what?
What teen chose that?
Not gonna lie, I would have definitely rather gotten a Ghostbusters 3 than year one from.
There,
Oh,
I think, yeah. Well,
again,
we all
touching
would
back,
have, but
Biodome, baby. Every day, all day.
Oh, that
Maybe the
Biodome's so
new
bad.
Ghostbusters should be our new movie. Oh man, that'll be some
Oh,
That would be something. That would be something
interesting
terrible.
conversations.
So
Yeah, those conversations might get us in trouble.
you have to tread lightly.
Stormy, did
Yeah.
you say you found some good reviews, or you were just searching through for some info?
Yeah.
Or?
So I did I read Roger Ebert's review in full. Shocker, not a fan. Um, he was less than impressed with Jack Black and Michael Cera's performance. He did say there were a couple parts that made him laugh or whatever, but yeah, he took a big steamy dump on it. And then shocker, get ready for this. I found a Christian movie review website. They were not fans. They
Yeah.
did not. I'm
oh
sure we're
yeah,
all very
no,
surprised.
that's shocking. That is shocking.
Right?
I that's one of the things I loved reading while digging through like when you just go to Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or Amazon and you just start digging through the reviews that just general people can leave. It's funny because you can tell when the hardcore Christians kick in because it goes from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds of reading their review. You get a lot of movie was okay, movie was fun,
My popcorn
it's
was
okay,
burnt.
and then all of this movie was a
Devil.
Travis, and
Movie's the devil.
Movie has
Uh,
damaged my DNA.
So
I
think about that though. The Christian movie reviewer that has to watch Showgirls and
Showgirls?
all these
oh wow,
yeah.
Yeah,
What
but do you think
how does
that
that affect them?
well, do they actually like it? I bet some of them secretly like it.
Gotta watch
Like,
that pool
that's
scene a few times.
they have to feign.
Yeah, like
It
I really
was
got to study this
terrible.
pool scene. Like, my lord. my lord,
I really need to watch this scene again and again and again.
to make sure that nobody else ever watches it again.
That's right.
When
I need
Viggo
to study it
Mortensen hangs
detail.
dong, it was really bad. How
Oh,
many times is
dear.
that guy gonna hang dong in a movie? By the way, I just saw him hang
Not
dong
enough.
in Mr. Fantastic. Sorry, I have to throw this out here too. I watched Mr. Fantastic, which is a great movie, the other day. It took me, I was like an hour and 30 minutes into it before I realized I had already seen the fucking movie and I had forgotten. It's like, oh yeah,
And your brain was just like, no.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
I remember now. But yeah,
Wait a
he hangs
minute.
dong in that one too.
I was really hoping to find a Gene Shalit review, but
Mm.
that
But
doesn't exist.
Just couldn't find one. Damn.
I don't know if you saw Gene Shalit, Luke, but um, does anybody remember him? Huge mustache, always had a pun in his review,
I've
like
never
Oh,
seen
yeah.
the reviews. I mean, I know who he is, but
Yeah, I know who he is, but I haven't consumed a lot of his media.
I'm a big Gene Shalit fan. Man's fantastic, but he's like early '90s, late '80s. I
8-bit
think he was on the
shallot.
Today Show.
8-bit,
See,
Snowman
there's
bit
another
Charlotte.
one. Snowman bitch salad.
Go
Um,
ahead, Murphy.
How are we feeling, guys? Do we want to get to the ratings? Do you want me to? Do you want me to?
It's up to you.
Mm,
I'm always ready to throw down that
ready to throw down that
how
rating?
disappointed I am.
Let's do it.
Num-
Hell
Who's
yeah!
up
how
I
first?
got a
numerically
hot take this week.
disappointed I am.
All right. Well, I mean, I normally go last for the rating, but this time I think I'm going to go first.
Okay, switch it up.
I'm switching it up a little bit. Um,
You crazy.
a little bit. I
Hold on, kids. Here we go.
What real quick question. Did anybody manage to dig up any bloopers or anything? Like how much bloopers are on the Blu-ray?
Not that much more.
There's not much.
Was-
On the Amazon video one that has like the X-ray, so it shows you which actors are on screen at the time. You can go to
Yeah, yeah.
and like the only goofs and stuff that come up are just like when Jack Black in this bit here he's wet, and when he turns back to O he's dry, and when he turns back to the crowd he's wet, and it's like yeah okay it's just continuity stuff.
Yeah, continuity errors are funny.
I am a big fan of the X-ray feature, by the way. I own a sizable library on Amazon, and I love
Oh yeah, it's
that
cool. Yeah, it's a cool feature.
you can just pause it on any scene, and they'll tell you, which
Oh,
characters
we
are
know
currently
you love
being.
that feature.
uh,
Pauser of films.
oh,
8-bit pauser.
who's that?
Snowman.
I'm gonna Google that person. Yeah.
So, all right, the fact that my body was physically revolting against me watching this film, and what really stuck with me was that goddamn donkey being the same over and over again, because that's what I'm scraping to get. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 100 because I am sick of this shit.
What a shakeup.
I thought I was feeling pretty bad about this round. You definitely beat me on that one.
Oh,
So
elaborate.
who won? Yeah, you elaborate on that, please, sir. Please.
Yeah. Keep going. What's your score, Merv?
Oh,
How many
I
donkeys
would
out
give
of
it.
100?
I think my score. I don't recall, but I think it went up a bit last time.
It sure did.
It did. I did not. That momentum did not maintain itself. I'd give it maybe a 30.
Oh, spicy. A little 30 job. That's a definite drop there for you, man. In your rating.
Yeah, I really did not enjoy it, but I still love very specific scenes. I love this scene, and we're talking 3 to 4 second long scene where Jack Black runs over to Emma. What's her name?
Ema.
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 Runs over to Ema, who just dumped a tray of food
Ema with
on-
like 7 M's.
Yeah, who just dumped a tray, who's a slave and just dumped a tray of food at the orgy on that giant dude. That Australian, what is he, a footballer or something like that? That guy.
No, he's not Australian. Vinnie Jones is from the UK, and he's a dickhead.
He's
UK,
a bruiser.
whatever
Wait, what did you? Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Mate, he's a dickhead.
Decade?
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Okay, that guy.
I love you, Zed.
Go stuff yourself, dickheads.
So dumps a tray on that guy, and Jack Black runs to the rescue and says, "Hey, I ordered more wine. Go fetch me wine over there by that gold statue." And then he's like, slaves. And then he tries to walk away. And Vinnie Jones goes, "Hey, don't I know you?" And Jack Black just starts laughing and doing these like erotic hand motions. And then just walks away and doesn't explain any of it. And I always
It's a good
giggle
one.
I always giggle at those little hand gestures that he does.
I like his voice better than the hand gestures and
Whatever
he's doing with his voice.
It's
I
just
think,
a funny.
I think you mentioned that last week too, Murph. Because now that
I
you
might
say
have.
it, it's like I just had a Stormy moment where I was like, I already watched this. You know,
Well,
like I
there's
was like, oh no.
the scenes I look for are Jackal Dance.
Yeah, and these are the
I
ones
look-
that have the biggest effect on your score.
Yes, like these
Okay,
literally
okay.
are, you get like 5 points per, like, whatever. Like, so the movie, to a point, I will reach a number that I cannot go lower on, just because I don't think I'll get sick of Jackal Dance. I don't think I'll get sick of Stabby Stabby Cut Cut. I don't think I will get sick of actually a couple really short Hank Azaria spots.
The donkey.
Well, there's a couple lines
The
like
fucking donkeys.
like as Hank Azaria is walking away and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just going to get my knife just to cut off the tips of our penises. I'll be right back." He's all, and he's walking away, like there's
Have
that
wine
little
and sponge
scene.
cake.
Yes, and afterwards we'll have wine and sponge cake. I like that scene. It's funny. There's a couple little scenes. I will, because I miss the guy. I'll watch the first scene where they're having dinner with like Cain and Abel's parents or dad.
Adam.
Because
Yeah,
that's
that's Adam.
played by it's played by the the director.
Human numero uno.
Help me out. I'm
Harold
heavily
Ramis.
medicated. Harold Ramis. And it's just that's like one of the last things we see Harold Ramis in. So,
Oh, so that's affecting you. Yeah, okay. Interesting.
yeah. So
Interesting.
I'm kind of glued to the Harold Ramis scenes there. And then I always look at possibly any scenes with Olivia Wilde.
Yes, definitely.
Because her her acting is
He's overrated.
I guess
Maya. I'll take Maya over her.
Yeah, I like
it's
Maya.
those eyes, man, those dang eyes.
She's just got the diamante stuck to the friggin' side of her eyes. That's all. Gives her that mystical look.
Maya's the kind of girl I'd go on, like you go. Well, I'm married, so I wouldn't do this. But you
Good
like
save.
a ski trip.
Oh,
You know,
a ski trip.
she'd go.
Speaking of
like a
another
water
great
ski
movie.
trip. I'm talking about lakes, not mountains.
Yeah,
Hey, Pipes.
I'd cross country ski with her.
Pipes. Last episode, you actually improved your score. So I'm interested. I'm interested in your score for this time round, dude.
So I feel like, kind of, for me, this viewing, I sort of reached this point of like acceptance. The movie is what it is, and I've gotten used to it. I know I'm not going to like it when I watch it, but like I was saying earlier, I was able to watch it kind of all in one session. I kind of just powered through it. Kind of, maybe I'm getting a little bit accustomed to it. So I've sort of reached this point where I feel like it's not good, it's not bad. I can watch it. Hopefully, I can watch it a couple more times. But so I think the score that I'm going to go with is 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right in the middle. Which I know.
Wowzers.
What did I start? I think I started like somewhere in the. Well, we'll save that for.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah, but I
genuinely
think
worried he might have
I'm trending up.
Stockholm.
I think
Well,
Pipes
it's just
has got some
I feel
sort
like
of
the
brain
movie's-
damage from this film.
I feel like it's just too mediocre to really hate it or to love it. I don't know. 50 seems like fair.
I think our podcast budget might have to go to
To a dollar.
a
Therapy.
therapist for
Yeah.
pipes.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
gotta
when this is
increase
over.
it. Increase it from
This is
75
over.
cents. Owly, give me your thoughts, brother. Hit me.
Well, I guess me and Pipes are gonna pretty much go to the loony bin together because I'm gonna give this a 51.
The price is right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna outbid
price
him
is
by
right
what? No, and the reason being by
Dick
what
move,
I
dude.
was dick move, man. No, what I was saying earlier about how it reminds us, like I'm hearing our podcast now when I watch it, so I have an unfair advantage that people that are probably just watching this for the first time, because I have like memories attached to certain things that happen now, and that makes me like it more than I hate it. But it's not something I would want to watch on a regular basis, or even once a year after this. Like, but
Yeah, we are
if it's
halfway through the
on,
cycle.
if it's on, I won't run from, I won't go like, oh God, and run away, but it hasn't driven me there yet, but we'll see what happens next week. Cause I remember first week I was like, this isn't so bad. And then second week I was like, this fucking sucks. And then this week I'm like, I love you guys. So.
Oh, interesting.
So
Now,
we'll see where we're at.
Stormy, you've got, you have traditionally had the highest scores for the review on this. So let's see where you go with this one.
So yeah, so I'm a closeted Christian movie reviewer is my secret,
Oh.
and I'm coming out. So on a scale from a scale of destroyed rectum
You had me
to
for a minute there, actually. I was like, what the fuck?
you never know, on a scale from destroyed rectum to bonesome zeeb, I'm gonna give this a prime minister doing exaggerated hand gestures to the king.
Okay, nice.
That's the best review yet. I don't know what that does to our ratio, but that's a good review.
Gross.
So yeah, I'll call it like a 70. Like that's
Yeah.
funny to me.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
It's still funny. This one was definitely harder, even with the influences as they were. But that was only for the first half. I watched the second half at work today. Definitely not under the influence. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to notice more and more of the things like we talked about last time with like the snake and the cougar scene. That just like, what the hell is going on?
So
yeah, but
that's an average score this time.
Still think it's funny.
It's an average score of 41.6.
I
didn't like your 7. I had to pull it the other way. I didn't like your 7.
Didn't like my 7? Stuff you, dickhead. 41.6. I think that's kind of fair.
Now here's a real question to get to know us, and where this is coming from. I'm curious how many of you have really dove into rewatching a movie. Like, does anybody here rewatch, like, have a guilty movie that they've like rewatched at 100 times?
Yes, I have. I have 3 films that I watch probably every 3 months, and they are The Matrix, Fight Club, and Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that I've watched The Matrix at least 60 times.
Wow. And you're talking just the first movie. Okay.
Yep, just the first movie.
Are there any like alternate cuts or like anything? You just watched like theatrical versions of all those?
I just
films?
watch the theatrical version. That's all I do. So I've got experience with watching, the same film again and again and again and again. Which, hey, shout out to the Again and Again podcast. Am I right, guys?
Hey, right?
Hey-o.
Okay, so the reason I ask is
Uh,
I'm curious. I'm curious if our hate of the film comes from just rewatching the film, or is it more about the film itself and not just the rewatching thing?
No, it's definitely
Uh,
the film for
it's
me. The
both.
film fucking sucks.
yeah, okay.
There's
So,
nothing to
and
latch on to.
also, I wanted to test the waters to see if I would be judged.
Oh, we're
I
judging
let
you.
Luke be judged first before me, but there was a time in my life where I got the original Star Wars trilogy on VHS, and it was one of the only tapes I had personally. That wasn't like a family tape collection, it was mine. And I lived uh so in my teenage years I lived in a garage that was not attached to the house. It was a separate building. So I was just out there by myself. I had no television at all. All I had was this old VCR and this
And a
like Star
big
Wars
stack
trilogy.
of Playboys.
And I just for, as we do now when we get on the computer, we might have a YouTube video playing or something. I would have that trilogy playing from the moment I got home from school until I went to bed that night. Every day for a year. So for
That
a
poor
year
tape.
straight, I watched 1 to 3 of the original Star Wars trilogy for a year straight, and I to this day will never be sick of those films. And I have more too. There are more films that I've seen, probably upwards of 100 times.
That is
And
a
I'm
huge
curious.
flex.
It's a comfort thing. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. My wife does it, and of course, the movies she chooses are fucking terrible.
I
But
have
yeah, there
seen,
there
yeah.
have been studies on it. Like
There have
it's
been,
just
yeah. Stormy's right.
Like, what do you watch? Like
um,
Medea movies or something? Like what
It's
she.
it's got, yeah, but it's the study. The psychological study was that people that watch the same like television shows or movies again and again and again, they do it because there's a sense of you don't have to think because you know what's happening. It can
Well,
take
there's a
you,
comfort to it as
yeah.
well, I
Your mind
think.
goes
Yeah.
back to when you first watched it. You know, the zone, the mood that you're in then. It's not triggering in any way because you know what to expect. So yeah, I understand. I understand that psychological stuff behind it. It's interesting.
Um.
I know things.
I know stuff. All right, boys.
I
Now,
know. I got to do use.
did anybody else have any like pipes? Did you have any movies? Is there a movie that
Oh,
sticks out the most?
yeah. The movie that I could watch over and over again and gets better every time I watch it is The Burbs with Tom
Oh,
Hanks.
great movie.
Yeah,
Great
that's a
movie.
solid
Like
film.
Tommy Hanks.
Yeah.
it's yeah, like every time I watch it, I find some little thing that gets a little bit funnier, or I find a new scene that like I can really like, it makes me feel good. Um, so yeah, if we were doing a different kind of podcast where you watch like a good movie over and over again, that would be that's what I would like to do.
So I have one
Fortunately,
more
we're not.
question, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we are on time.
Oh, we got time for another question.
Okay. Now now this was our first selection for a film, year 1. If we use this as a learning experience, our next film that we watch, are we going to pick a worse film so we have more to kind of poke fun at, or are we going to pick a better film so that it's less painful?
Well,
Um,
that is a discussion for another time. I think so because
Surprise.
Yeah.
it's going to be a
I'm really
surprise.
I'm really curious to see what
I
direction that we go.
I'd like to put it to the audience, to be honest with you.
Oh,
If they want to jump to, I mean, because this will be broadcast, live
You know they're
first.
gonna go for torture.
I
They go
know.
for
it's gonna
torture
be a
every
torture
time.
I
film
know
for
that.
sure.
Comment on our TikTok. Let us
Exactly.
know.
So follow on all the shit. On the twitter.com
Hit
again
me up
pod
on
crew.
Farmers Only.
Yeah, farmers only. We're on there as well. That's the again pod crew. YouTube again and again podcast. If you just search that, you'll probably find us. If not, I don't know where you went. Something went wrong, definitely. But we do thank you for listening. And yeah, seriously, put a comment. You know, let's start talking about the next.
Yeah, start throwing
film
out some
cycle.
suggestions out
Throw it
there.
out
And if
there.
Yeah.
and if you're watching this, watch the movie.
Yeah,
Watch
go
the
ahead.
movie.
Yeah,
It's gonna
watch
make your
it along.
immersion a lot better. You'll understand what the hell we're talking about.
Exactly.
Watch that
Yeah.
donkey.
Please come join us in our pain.
Maybe it's not so bad.
Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you'll fart yourself so bad you have to leave the room. Who knows?
It's not a terrible movie. It's really not, but oh my gosh. It can be, I guess. It's-
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank
I
you.
Yeah,
super
my pleasure.
appreciate it.
I love this every time we do it.
It's definitely a cool little project we've got going on here. Again, listeners, again, Pod Crew on Twitter. Follow that for all the bullshit. Um, yeah,
Thank you to
we've
our
got
sponsors.
yeah, definitely our sponsors. Not Crit Rocket Runner and big old Roberto Pimento. Thanks to him. I'd like to thank Kiwiyami for the use of the theme song that we have again and again. Um, Coming
Thanks,
out on an
buds.
EP or something soon. I'm sure that Ali has details if you want to follow him on the Twitters, and you'll be all up to date on that sort of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Again and Again podcast. Treat your loved ones to a jackal dance.
May the gods smile on you. May the gods smile on you.
In you.
Oh my.